5pmnation.com.
Previously on Angry Drunk Tales.
You really done it this time.
Aren't you supposed to be out feeding the cows or something?
Don't give me that smart talk.
Be angry.
The woman.
You know how they exaggerate? Shut up. You've been lying to me all along.
Hell no. Mostly it's just like I told you.
Me write angry emails.
This is no time for us to argue about who did what.
As far as I'm concerned, you can go to hell in a handcart.
Episode 36. I'm going to commit felony criminal threatening and pretend it's your fault. Me still angry. Me continue to write long, rambling, drunken emails. Me continue to be angry over incident several weeks ago. Me have emotional intelligence of 5-year-old child. Me bitter and frustrated with myself over being drunken 300-pound tub of shit. Me undiagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. Me
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Me write angry emails. Me hate everyone. Welcome to episode 36 of Angry Drunk Tales. I'm Matt Connerton.
And I'm Jen Coffey.
And when we last left off, we were on August 12th, and the Friday cliffhanger was basically, you'll hear the rest of August 12th on the next episode. As we, and by the way...
Did we actually do a count on how many emails were on the 12th?
The 12th, I think there were 7.
Oh, he was a little short that day.
I think the record is 9, or at least that we've bothered to count, when we've bothered to count how many we got in one day.
No, I thought it was 10.
I heard he was a little short every day. I read that on the bathroom wall at the restaurant that he works at. So, we'll continue with August 12th. And you'll notice a pattern emerging, by the way, now that we get into these emails, where he really starts to we've alluded to it many times on the show, where our former roommate begins threatening us. Of course, you know, there's been many instances of threats in the past, particularly made at
Napoleon Bonaparte.
During that part of our story.
Yes, that was the Italian kneecap breakers,
yes,
among other things.
Yes, felony level criminal threatening.
Gay black men orgy.
Yeah.
Involving
Napoleon Bonaparte.
His belongings.
Yes. And we've alluded that eventually we'll get to emails where he begins threatening us. And of course, his response to us emailing his little douchebag friends in his peer group, as one of them called it, you know, he was very upset about that, obviously. You know, he's writing back and saying things like, these people know who I am and how dare you, and there's nothing you can say that's going to hurt me. And yet, obviously, from his response, he was clearly humiliated, which is good.
So it's interesting, too, in the fact that he's the one that chose to bring these people into the drama he created.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, you know, what he was doing and saying wasn't bad enough. Let me bring some more folks in on this.
Yeah. So we have 3 more emails. So what we'll do is with today's episode, we'll finish off on the emails we received from our former roommate on August 12th. There were... which actually were part of the thread that we discussed on the last episode. It's just that these are now after midnight, because he likes to email us after midnight. And again, and this is at 1:27 a.m., this one I'm going to read you. And by the way, again, for those new to the show, these emails come from our former roommate who recently, and we'll get to those eventually. Maybe we'll get caught up with this batch of episodes. Well, we won't get all the way to the present day because he keeps emailing us, but perhaps we'll get to the part where he eventually begins to threaten us with legal action for cyberbullying him with this show. The person who sends us 9, 10, 11 emails in a night filled with threats and hate and vitriol, accusing
2,
us
3
of
o'clock in the
cyberbullying.
morning.
What's that?
At 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. Who then accuses us of cyberbullying.
There was the one time that we actually got an email. It was like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It was an unusual hour.
I know, unusual for him, yes. So I will read these 3 to you for this episode, for our dramatic readings. We'll begin with, this first one is at 1:27 a.m., and we're going to do 3 at a time because these are relatively short by his standards. The first and second one are only 2 paragraphs, and the third is 1 paragraph. So we'll knock these out, and then in the next episode, we'll move on to our next day, our next volley of emails from our former roommate. All right, so here we go. The only thing you accomplished was to prove my point. The first email I sent and added Matt to... Oh, I'm sorry. This, by the way... I should remember to explain, because now that we're at our point in the story where he's including a lot of other people in these emails, I should be clear about who each one of these went to. The 3 that we're reading during this episode went to myself, went to you, Jen, and also our other former roommate,
Napoleon Bonaparte.
So these went specifically to the 3 of us.
But not to the other crew.
Right, but not to his other...
That's a pattern, too.
His douchebag friends, no.
There's certain emails that he includes these other 4 or 3 out of the 4, depending on the email.
Yeah.
And there are other ones where, for whatever reason, he's emailing you and I. And
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Right. Yes.
I've never quite figured out the logic behind that.
Well,
or if there is logic.
Well, we've speculated because at least 2 of the people who are in his little peer group that he includes in the other emails are people he also has a business relationship with. So can you imagine being in a business relationship with this guy and being copied on these emails?
No.
I would be like, I don't think this is someone I want to do business with.
I'd be running for the hills.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so here we go. So this was to the 3 of us. The only thing you accomplished was to prove my point. The first email I sent and added Matt to because I suspected that me and
Napoleon Bonaparte
were not each getting all of the facts from either of you. That we were each being excluded from the conversation at various times. So I sent it to mail and blind copied myself to see if he would remove my name from the recipient list, which he did, which had the effect of proving my suspicions over what had actually occurred and proving the 2 of you are liars and manipulators. Then you decided to contact my friends individually and try to tell them I had some sort of undiagnosed mental health issue. And I know that didn't go well for you either. That, in fact, 2 of them questioned your own mental health, especially when using an undeserved title that is never given to state reps, and most assuredly has never been given to anyone in this state who has not ever been either a governor or a judge. You both just showed to 6 people what your true character is. If you doubt that I can't get you taken off of cable access, then keep playing this game, because I will get you taken off there, by the way, if you want to play against me. And I might just do it for my own fun, as well as realizing how I was manipulated by you both. So he's back to the threatening to get us taken off the air, which doesn't even make sense. And, of course, he's, again, for, I don't know, I've lost count how many times he's done this, going to the this narrative that you're not allowed to use that title that you use, which you clearly are.
There was something else that you read in there that was just ridiculous. And now I'm blanking on what you said.
No. Well, don't worry. I'm sure he repeats it in the next email because he repeats himself constantly.
This is true.
So we'll just go on to the next one.
Sounds good.
Okay.
What time was this one?
The next one was at 1:54 a.m., so about 27 minutes later. He writes, I have already questioned Cable 23 why one of their hosts pretends to be either a judge or governor based upon her title. I doubt it would be difficult to get you both yanked from that channel. So please keep this going. I like challenges like these. I find both of your political views repugnant, and I would love to see your show yanked off the TV, and would easily take up the challenge on a daily basis to make that a personal project of mine. Maybe calling into that other woman's show who hates you all to explain what users, liars, and pretenders you all are on a daily basis. Improving her ratings and such in an effort to get you pulled from the air. Telling her your insights into what useful fools Free Staters are and such. I doubt it would be all that difficult to get your show pulled, so please keep going and let me make you a personal project of mine. Or just shut the fuck up and realize I figured out how you manipulated me, because that's exactly what you did. Stop acting like martyrs. You are not even close to innocent in anything. Your girlfriend self-manipulated the eviction of a family and young children and was proud as hell that she did that. In fact, she bragged about it the day that she heard, to which I felt uncomfortable about even at the time. So you want to play games? I have a shit ton of ammo to use against each of you, and I know how to use that ammo. You can try to sour my friends against me, but my friends are real friends. When I want to talk to a friend, I either call them or email them or have lunch with them. I don't go to Facebook to see them. You cannot hurt me, but I know I can hurt you, and it wouldn't be that difficult. Glass houses, Matt and Jen. You live in a big glass house, and I know where to find the bricks that can hurt you. Pretty threatening. His tone has gotten very threatening. That was the one
that actually we were advised to submit.
Yeah.
Which we didn't, and I don't know that was a good or bad decision on our part. It was just simply that we didn't want it. No matter how much we tried to get away from this fool,
yeah,
he will not fucking go away.
It's part of what makes his threats about legal action against us so funny. Is that even if we had, when we had originally talked about doing this show, we were actually going to use his real first name, full name.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
In the show title. And then
first and last.
First and last, and then we decided not to. But even if we had, this guy, he's committing felony criminal threatening against us. I mean, it only gets worse.
And what's interesting.
And he's threatening to sue us.
Is, the disclaimer that he includes in every one of his emails. You know how people put things like, if you get an email from a real lawyer or something, it has like a real legal language thing at the bottom. If you've received this email and it was not intended for you, that you have to, destroy it, blah, 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 and, you don't have the legal right to share it or anything like that. There's a lot of lingo that lawyers put at the bottom of that, or advise their clients to put at the bottom of emails that they don't give permission to share.
Right.
But his disclaimer is a little different than that.
Yeah, he's got some stupid zombie thing.
Mr. Legalese.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got this whole Walking Dead zombie.
Yeah, it's just
crap.
Silly.
Stupidity.
But he's such a mature adult.
Yes, and he is so versed in the law.
And then we have one more email. Which will, this is only one paragraph. This came at 2:03 a.m. So this was about, just 10 minutes later. I gave you, Matt, and Jen just enough rope to hang yourselves with. How can't you see that? You tried to remove me from an email I included you in, not realizing that I had blind copied myself, showing me and hopefully
Napoleon Bonaparte,
as well as what I suspect you had done previously to the two of us. I got your email that was meant to exclude me, and every single email you tried to send one of my friends as well, by the way, along with their responses and such. I told you before that my reputation is based upon people who actually know me personally, not a bunch of online pseudo-friends. No, based on 45 years of being above board with people and such. So you can't possibly hurt me, but I know I can hurt you.
Yeah, Mr. Above Board who makes, criminal threatening. But that was the other thing is he accused us of individually emailing all of his friends, and he repeats that here.
Yeah.
And all that was done was hitting reply all.
Yeah.
And that's all that was done.
Right.
Reply all.
Right. Reply all to defend ourselves.
So
to these morons.
Put yourself in that position. You're getting these bizarre, unsolicited emails from this insane individual who just will not quit. And now, have they not only not quit for nearly 3 weeks after you're long gone, but they are so defaming and full of lies and full of accusations. And, so we finally get fed up enough and you actually hit reply all and defend yourself.
Yeah.
But what I also can note here, too, is you notice how he's trying to win back
Napoleon Bonaparte.
his friendship.
Yeah.
And trying to say that we somehow manipulated the two of them against each other. I'd really like to know how you must be really fucking good at hypnosis or something, right? Because I want to know how you got
Napoleon Bonaparte
to post something on his Facebook page that
It doesn't matter what your name is.
found racist
Yeah.
and started their whole brouhaha in the first place.
Yeah, none of that stuff makes any sense.
You gotta be talented.
Oh, and he's back to this
Shit.
thing blaming you for getting a family evicted that
Yeah.
he was so concerned about. I'd like to know, by the way, what is it says, the sentence is interesting. Your girlfriend self-manipulated the eviction of a family with young children. So you manipulated yourself into getting that family evicted? You're pretty good.
You know what
Well
that
done.
means? You know
That's
what that
amazing.
means, don't you? I have the ability of mind control.
Yes. Mind control.
I have mind control, and you have long-distance hypnosis therapy.
Yes.
And you can force people to post things on Facebook at your will.
Yes.
And I can merely self-manipulate my mind into getting other people to do what I want.
It's amazing. We are quite
Wow.
remarkable.
We are.
He's just jealous.
That's
of
what
our
it has to be.
Incredible
It's jelly.
mind
It's jelly.
control abilities. All right, well, I guess we'll conclude this episode, and tomorrow we'll be back with episode 37 as our saga continues. So as we like to say at the end of each episode, if you happen to be
It doesn't matter what your name is.
his new roommate being subjected to sharing a home with this lunatic, well, we are not ourselves religious people. We would say to you this: may God help you and keep you safe.
Good night.
Good night.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
IPMNation.com.